I'm going to have to know that we're going to make a deal. I'm not going to be wasting my time. I've always had a great relationship with Vladimir Putin, but this has been very disappointing. I thought this would have gone long before peace in the Middle East.
President Trump wants peace, and obviously he's been asking for peace. He just wants progress at this point on the possible end to the battle between Russia and Ukraine. He is asking President Vladimir Putin to stop it already and bring the two sides together so they can make some sort of a peace deal. The president says, listen, he's hoping that the recent sanctions on two major Russian oil companies will finally move the needle and perhaps get Putin back to the bargaining table to consider peace with Ukraine. We want to bring in Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., who joins us on this afternoon. And I must say, Ambassador, I don't see a lot of progress from Russia's side. Do you? And do you have any hope that finally this will be resolved?
Well, I think if there are any expert in this town on how Russian Federation could behave is the Ukrainian, every Ukrainian in the town. So, so far the behavior of Russians does not really cause any surprise to us. But I think we could not have more favorable political environment for this war to get to the end. So, and I'm really happy that President Trump is very clear in his messaging that he gives a lot of leverage to the Russian Federation to finally end the war and stop the aggression. So the language of sanctions might have been more effective in this understanding.
I give the president, and I think a lot of Americans would give him credit for working on it. He's been working on this from day one. And while there appears to be more levers now that he's pulling, again, and trying to apply pressure, I'm not sure it's enough just yet. Vladimir Putin and his team continues to insist that it doesn't matter how much pressure they get from the West, they're going to do what they think is best for the Russian people. And yet, I do think there is a possibility, perhaps a small window here. Do you expect any progress as the president makes his trip to Asia at all, to perhaps even get others to help apply pressure on Russia?
Well, I think it's absolutely vital for people of Ukraine and for my country that while traveling to Asia and meeting the Chinese leader, your president will be speaking about ending the war in Ukraine, will be speaking about just peace. And this is very important. My president had a long conversation with them last Friday, so it's very clear where Ukraine stands. We are very open and transparent, and we can do everything which is needed to back up these efforts.
For people who are curious and they are sort of not in this day-to-day, what do you want Americans in particular to know about what would end the war from Ukraine's perspective?
Well, I think the one thing which is really clear and should be clear to everyone is that the war is not something that is between two parties. So we are a peaceful, democratic European country with a market economy, striving to become more successful and more effective. And 3 years ago, on 24th of February, the bombs started to fall on our heads because the Russian aggression started. Since then, there's been a lot of manipulations, but the bombs are still there and our people are still dying. So we want the war to be over, and we are absolutely happy that President Trump sees it in the same way.
One of the best parts of this relationship between the U.S. and Ukraine is there is an understanding that we can help, and we have attempted to help to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars, and yet there is sort of this mindset now that the rest of the world has to step up and step in and try to help Ukraine as well. Do you feel like your country's getting the support it needs?
Yeah, definitely. I think despite all the emotions and all this changing environment coming from Ukraine and knowing the situation in the field, we're in the best possible position at this moment. So we have a very well-structured European financing framework. We have a synchronized pressure to the Russian Federation through sanctions, and we have a vehicle for continued military assistance. You know, this is not about political slogans or messages or statements. This is what really helps my country to survive, and this is a perfect background for future negotiations.
Time to stop the killing, and obviously we're all hoping and praying for that. Ambassador, thank you so much. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me here.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.